What's up guys, Toy Bro back again for another Star Wars review. Today looking at something a little bit different but still a Black Series piece. We have got the Black Series Centerpiece, Darth Vader, and a diorama, not an action figure, from Hasbro. So this is our box and it's got a bit of a vignette with Vader as he's cut through a door. We've got an explosion, we've got him holding a lightsaber, we got some troopers, some rebel troopers over here. This box is a little dinged up. I caught them on sale or clearance because Walmart's for some reason clearancing these right now. And this was the last one left in the store, so it's seen better days, but the box art's pretty cool. And then on the back, you can see it's kind of janky here on the bottom corner. We got some shots of Vader in various poses, and then with Vader alongside a few Black Series figures that are on the base. So let's pull this guy out and take a closer look. Alright guys, so here is Vader out of the box, and before anyone asks, yes, I did the packaging shot before I moved things down to the toy room, so we've got the orange wall this time around. That's it. So this thing comes apart in various pieces. You got to put it together. I'm not going to put it together on camera. There's no real point. Two bases. We've got the kind of door cut out here, and then we've got obviously the door piece here, and we've got Vader. So you put Vader together. His legs are one part, his torso is one part, the cape and the head are one part, so they all kind of just sit on top of each other. If you've ever done like a Kotobukiya artifacts statue, it's the same type of peg type system, and then the door just sits in with pegs and everything just sort of clips together, so nothing too crazy there. No real skill required to put this thing together. As far as the overall piece goes, I think it's pretty decent. This thing retails for 50 bucks. I did not pay $50 for it. There was zero chance I was ever going to pay 50 bucks for it. I don't think it's worth that. I think it's a cool idea, but at the end of the day, to get your real money's worth, if you want to do it right, you really got to spend almost $100 worth of stuff to make the actual scene complete. So the whole point of this guy is that this is a diorama. We've got Vader in a pose that you really couldn't pull off with the actual Black Series figure. You cannot make him stand like this with the cape billowing backwards and so on. His hand doesn't look like that anyway. So Hasbro's giving us a way to make our own diorama, so to speak. And then it's got a peg system that you can put 6 different pegs. And the pegs are underneath the base. There's little holes that they sit into so you don't lose them. Although I will give you a word of caution. There's a good chance you might lose one. They're very small. They fit into the peg holes on the base very tightly, so they could go flying out if you move them around. So just keep that in mind. But you can put the pegs on the base, and then they are meant to hold Black Series figures. And I'll show you a setup with a couple figures here shortly. Of course, this thing does have lights, and there is kind of a caveat to that as well, is that we'll turn it on. There's a button over here. So basically, the whole premise of this is that Vader has cut down a door, and there's an explosion on the door. We've got the lightsaber kind of cut out marks on here where he has sliced through the metal. And if you turn it on, it will glow, and then the explosion kind of flashes. Now, if you press it once, it will stay on for a short while, 10 to 15 seconds, and then it will turn itself off, so you just kind of know what it does here. So there you go, it just turned itself off. Now if you hold it down for a little while longer, it will stay on. I believe it stays on indefinitely until the battery drains. So you've got everything here and it's on. The only real thing I don't like is that the lightsaber doesn't light up, which I don't know how they could have done that because Vader is not part of this base. He is separate. So, you know, kind of it is what it is. I don't know how they would have made this light up. The blade actually does come out of the saber hilt, but there's no real reason to ever want to have it out, I don't think. But as far as the overall aesthetic of this thing, I think it looks pretty cool. I do like the lights aspect of it. I mean, Vader alone looks pretty cool on this thing, but the whole point, again, is to throw a couple figures on here, kind of build a scene, something different that you've never been able to do with this line before outside of making something on your own. So let's grab a couple figures here and I'll put them on the base. You can kind of see what I'm talking about in terms of how you can kind of build up this scene. All right, so here's Vader with a couple of the Entertainment Earth 4-pack exclusive Crimson Troopers, and I just picked these because I had them lying around, easy access to them. But you can use pretty much anything. As you can see, there are a lot of peg holes all over this base, and while they are plentiful, you can't really use all of them. There are some like these right here and along the edges that are in kind of a weird spot. It just depends on what you're doing with the figure in terms of the diorama. And then there's also a lot underneath Vader's cape. I mean, you can't use those in any capacity whatsoever. I'm not sure why they even put them there. But you can see what I'm talking about, that you can have figures alongside Vader, and Vader looks enough like a normal action figure that there's no real disconnect between the figures and the statue piece. There are 6 pegs that come with the set. I don't really think you can get 3 figures on here, 2 per figure, without really cramming them in there, but I assume they're also meant for the inevitable you're going to lose a couple kind of situation. So, you know, throw some regular stormtroopers on here, maybe throw some, I don't know, anything really. Throw Kylo Ren on here, why not? Have a grandson, grandpa day out, or whatever you want to do. Maybe some Imperial Guards, that would be really cool. I was actually playing around with those earlier. But I like the idea here. There is a second one of these. There is the Luke Skywalker on the downed AT-AT. I don't really care for that one as much. And again, like I said, I only bought this because I got it less than retail. So take that into consideration. I don't think it's worth 50 bucks. I think it is a cool idea. I like the lights. I like the way Vader looks. He's well sculpted. He looks good. He is not out of proportion with the action figures. And I think the overall idea is pretty cool. I just don't think it's worth $50. So, maybe track it down on clearance, or, just bite the bullet and buy it if you really want it. But I don't know if I'm ever going to get the Luke Skywalker one. It just depends on the overall price. But Vader's cool enough. You can't go wrong with Vader. So that's going to do it for this look at the Star Wars Black Series Darth Vader Centerpiece from Hasbro. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And until next time.